Assalamu alaikum. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Rabbana la tu'akhizna in nasina wa akhtana. Rabbana wa la tahmil alayna isran kama hamaltahu ala alladhina min qablina. Rabbana wa la tuhammilna ma la taqata lana bih. Wa'fu anna واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Welcome, dear friends. Inshallah, we will continue with our discussion on the principles of the Quran, how it teaches us, inshallah. So we kind of went over what fazlaka kind of means in terms of how the ending of the verse, for example, gives us what the real message is. So we took some examples from the verses of the Quran. For example, God is all-knowing, all-merciful, and then I read the previous phrases and verses according to that definition to see who is actually providing or who is the most knowledgeable one, who is the most powerful one, who is the one who is the most merciful one. And that all encompasses the previous message, encompasses within that sphere as well. And what we discussed last time, so some notes I took was the Quran teaches me by reminding me what my most obvious tools. So it reminds me about my eyes and ears in a kind way, because we kind of looked at the verse which says, don't they have eyes to see or ears with which they hear? So that message is applicable to me. So I have to investigate or try to ponder over what those verses are saying for, and they should be applicable to my life and my living right now. Right? So the obvious tools, eyes, ears, the tongue that we use, which is such a all the system, that whole body that is given to us as a gift for our spirit to use is an amazingly functioning. So all the senses that I'm given as well. So everything is given for me to recognize the manifestations of the qualities of my Lord. I mean, if you look at what the biology or sciences mention about all these tools, eyes and ears, they don't mention about anything besides to deal like an animal would do as an animal life with the bodily enjoyment only. But how the Quran mentions about, using the eyes and the ears and the tools that we are given to actually ponder over, make sense of what this universe is all about and who am I in this world, what this universe is, why is it existing, and what are these different events that I'm witnessing. So all the manifestations of the qualities of my Lord. So the eyes and the ears, even the tongue is not just for the taste and enjoyment, for the satisfaction of my body, but really to recognize who is the one who is treating me, who is the one who is introducing me to himself using the manifestations of the beauty, the mercy, the compassion, the form, the shape, the colors, everything that I witness in the manifestations of these qualities that are available in the universe. So I forget that in my day-to-day routine, and no one would tell me the purpose which the Quran mentions, right? So nobody really mentions, okay, why are your tools, eyes, ears, intellect, why are they given for you to you? It's not just for the worldly life. And we also looked at some technical details about the words as when it says as-samawatu wal-ard. When it comes together, it refers to the whole universe, and in terms of how the context of the Quran, how it shares it. And when the word just is as-sam, As-samawat is here, it refers to something that is beyond this world. For example, the art on a bird refers to something beyond this universe, which is really the quality of the Lord of the universe. So some details in terms of how when we are engaging in reading the Quran, we should pay attention to how the context and what it really refers to, and it makes more sense for to us to actually digest it and confirm that message. Because Quran is to confirm, not just to read it and don't really grasp how to apply it into our lives. So inshallah, we'll continue with the next example. Now, this is in the same example of a verse spreads out dominical decrees over a great multiplicity of things, and then it unifies them with a tie of unity, resembling an aspect of unity, or it situates them within a universal rule. So it tells you basically by describing all the different qualities and then gives you the example, okay, who's the one in charge of all that. So here it is God who created the heavens and the earth and sends down rain from the skies, and with it brings out fruits, therewith to feed you. Made subject to you the ships, then that they may sail through the sea by his command. Right? So they don't just follow the sail naturally, or we don't even think about it that, oh yeah, it floats by itself. All right. So, and the rivers too, he has made subject to you. So the rivers that we use. And he has made subject to you the sun and the moon, right? Both diligently pursuing their courses, diligently pursuing, so obeying the command of whoever set them there. And the night and the day has he also made subject to you. And he gives you of all that you ask for. But if you count the favors of God, the favors of God is very interesting. Never will you be able to number them. So these are from the Quran, section 14, verses 32 to 34. Now let's see what the author describes this. So these verses describe how Almighty God created the huge universe as a palace for man, and sending the water of life from the skies to the earth. The water of life, because once the rain that happens, the whole earth is kind of rejuvenated, right? So somebody is really arranging and organizing that sending of water of life. It's not just rain is happening, but it really has a purpose and is doing a lot of things that we don't even pay attention to. Water of life from the skies to the earth. Made the skies and the earth two servants. So the heavens and the earth, the skies and the earth, two servants producing food for him. So all that is arranged. Similarly, he made ships subject to man, so that they might benefit from the fruits of the earth found in every part of it. So ships subject to man, so they might benefit from the fruits of the earth. So they go around different places and find all the different bounties in the earth that are laid out there. And also exchange the fruits of their labors. So they kind of bring it to the other places and they secure their livelihoods in every respect. That is, he has made the winds as whips, ships as horses, and the seas as the desert beneath their hooves. So for transportation, just like you would carry for, let's say, trading in the olden days, you're using horses and camels, right? So now ships are used to transport all those different products and materials. Winds are also employed, and the seas is also like the desert beneath their hooves. So like the horses' hooves. So that's how the ships easily, smoothly kind of sail on the seas as well. And besides connecting man with every region of the earth, connecting man with every region of the earth by means of ships or airplanes, he subjugated the rivers, great and small, to him by making them means of transport, and causing the sun and moon to travel. The true bestower of bounties alternates the seasons and makes them two obedient servants, whereby he offers man his multicolored bounties which change with the seasons. He created them also as two steersmen, turning that mighty wheel. So the sun and the moon, basically, and that's basically how the seasons and the alternations of night and day kind of in the how it's organized in the universe. And he made the night and day subject to man. That is, he made the night as a whale for his sleep and repose, and the day a place of trade for winning his livelihood. Right. So after enumerating these divine bounties, right? So all these that are we are experiencing, all these bounties, how we benefit for our livelihood, right? So after enumerating these divine bounties with the summary, and he gives you of all that you ask for. But if you count the favors of God, never will you be able to number them. It points out the vast extent of the bounties bestowed on man and their abounding profusion and abundance. Right? So everything that is available in the universe, we are benefiting from everything. That is whatever man asks for through the tongue of his capacity and innate needs. They have all been given to him. An end can never be reached in counting the divine bounties bestowed on man, nor can they be exhausted. Certainly, since the heavens and the earth are a table of bounties for man, and things like the sun and the moon and night and day, some of the bounties on the table, the bounties directed towards man are most surely beyond count and calculation. So, what does that tell us? Beyond count and calculation, whatever we're benefiting from. So, all the favors that we are benefiting from, the favors coming from the source of the whole universe, right? The Lord of the universe. So, really, we have to be extremely grateful beyond, because once we realize how wonderful all this different things that we are benefiting from in the universe, and not to mention even our spiritual side and the qualities that we kind of interact with from the whole universe, right? Just for even our bodily needs are just taken care of so marvelously easily that they cannot be counted right? So that's what it says. Never will you be able to number them or count them. That's how it concludes. So it points out the vast extent of bounties on man. Okay. Any comment on this particular piece of basically conveying all the different things that our human beings kind of experience and go through and are benefiting from the whole universe in different ways, as long as we expand our view and horizon and really pay attention to it, we will see how many favors are we being treated with that cannot be really counted. All right. So should we move on then to the next one? Seventh mystery of Brother Ali. Please go ahead.
But I really thank you to remind us that these are the only samples of bodily benefits. But of course, the concluding phrase in the Quran, if you count the favors of your God, you will never be able to number them. Includes the point you made. Because how about our human side? Human feelings, and all the universe is created in order to respond to need to our human feelings. So it is excellent point. I really appreciated it. One point in the Quran, the verse that we have just studied now, took my attention. It says that made subject to you the ships. We think that we'll calculate it. He made he made subject to you the ships. But we may think that, look, no, we calculated and made the ship accordingly, and that is why how the ship is working. If we didn't calculate it, then the ship will not really travel, go through the sea. We may think that. So one friend of mine, I think I mentioned this once, I don't know in which discussions we had. He was living in a house where overlooking the sea, and a friend of his came to visit him from somewhere else, and they were looking at the sea together through the window, and if a ship was traveling, going through the sea. And the friend was reflecting on it, my friend was reflecting on it, and he spoke to the person next to him and said, look at this, how wonderful that the ship is, without sinking, is traveling in the sea. And then the person next to him said, yeah, there's an engine working, so engine is making it move. Now, the text says, made subject to you the ship or ships. Really? But there is, now, they may sail through the sea by his command, Emir. What is Emir? His command. The text says, لتجري في البحر بأمره. His بأمره, his Emir, his command. What is the command? Nowadays, the command of God, the emir in the creation of the universe is called natural laws. Qur'an says they are not natural laws. They are the laws of the Creator who created the universe on these principles, which are called laws, principles, on these principles. If the sea, the water, is not created, although it is liquid, but it it is created with the law, with the principle to hold the larger surfaced objects on it. That is his command. The one who created the water with these characteristics, with these qualities. That is why the ship can move through the sea. Otherwise, it can't. The same example. These are only the examples. The verses mentioned, it is obvious. Only the examples, some samples. So you can say aircrafts, airplanes are the same. Air, although it is air, look, you see as if there is nothing. I say the house is empty, but it is full of air. So this air has the quality to lift the things up. And this air has the quality to destroy the buildings when it is turned into wind, created in this way. It is so. That is the command of the Creator, the way the things are created, the principles. Unfortunately, nowadays, it is named as natural laws. Quran is reminding us these are his laws. That is how we can find out the way they are created, and we have to obey this creation and then the principles of creation, and then we can make the ship. The Quran invites us to own the creation, to own the universe, the creation, and interpret and understand that this is the way the universe is created according to the command, emir, or in fact, the source of command is will of God, God's will, the Creator's will. According to the Creator's will, the universe is created. We have to find out, and we have to use our language. Rather than say natural laws, we will say divine laws. Although laws refer to the same principles, but natural and divine is the problem. So we have to decide, we have to introduce divine, concept of divine, by giving the examples and rational explanations. We left the universe, and those people who study the universe label this as natural laws. And even the believers started using the terminology, wrong terminology invented by materialist people, just because the believers left the universe to them. They didn't use it as evidence to their creator. The mistake is believers left the area to them. So we didn't study the universe. We thought by studying the Quran only will save us. That is the mistake we have to give up now. We have to leave behind, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Alhamdulillah, thank you for that reminder. Yes, so the divine laws that are operating. So even when we drive, when we fly in the air, using airplanes, so the wind and how it's floating on the air, going through all subject by his will, command, everything basically pursuing its courses amazingly, diligently. Like they're completely obeying, and we see it. Unfortunately, it's labeled as natural laws and just confuses the people, and they don't think about it further. But really, what is natural and how is it really doing it? To all those gravity or forces of motion, nothing natural about them, but definitely divine laws or divine, somebody arranged it in that way, following his amr or his will and command. Alhamdulillah. All right. Let's move on to the seventh mystery of eloquence. Unless anybody has any comment. Yes, Brother Ali, go ahead.
Unfortunately, the believers are studying the universe through materialist point of view and using their information they obtain from this education for their only worldly, professional, money-making means, unfortunately. And I don't think God is very pleased with this. Using my most valuable evidence to make your worldly benefits only, that is why we will never recover. We will never recover. Muslim world will never recover because God created the universe to declare, to announce the divine laws, but we used it. We learn how the universe works, studying physics, biology, chemistry, whatever, sociology, whatever we study. These are all the means of demonstration of the divine laws. We left them. We studied them and we use them for professional purposes, to become an engineer, to become a doctor, and make money only. How many people are there here, for example, study the universe? How many engineers are there? I know how many people studied engineering, this kind of things. And the same question is valid for everyone. How many of us are using this material to declare divine laws just for our material life, bodily life, to be satisfied bodily? That's what Muslim world is doing. And God is, I don't think the Creator is very pleased with it because He made the universe as evidence for Him. Here it is, وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. If you count the favors of God, you will never be able to number them. So this is favors of God, commands of God. What we did, a means of profession and make money. Or really, I don't think we are doing something right. I don't think so. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't have a profession, but your worldly bodily benefit needs 10%, 20% of attention. 80% your spirit, your human side needs it. How much did we spend time to declare that they are not the principles that we are following and making lots of technological devices are not natural laws. They are divine laws. To demonstrate it and give the reason. How many of us? That is what the Quran is treated by Muslims. We have to wake up and take up the responsibility, inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah, you're right. Also, for example, the AI movement that is happening also these days. Everything is AI is doing it. Like similar to how nature is doing it, kind of in the same kind of line. I mean, just obscuring the fact and just giving it a label and then not really seeing all the divine happenings and arrangements that is happening to make this happen, and just hide behind an umbrella term. That's how I think we are just kind of brainwashed in that sense. All right, let's go to the seventh mystery of eloquence. So it sometimes happens that in order to disallow apparent causes, the ability to create and to demonstrate how far they are from this, a verse points out the aims and fruits of the effects, so that it may be understood that the causes are only an apparent veil. So causes are only an apparent veil. For to will that most wise and purposeful aims are followed, and important results are obtained, is of necessity the work of one who is most knowing and wise. Whereas causes are lifeless and without intelligence. So by mentioning the aims and results, because the aims and results show the qualities that are needed to bring them into existence. Such verses show that although causes are superficial and as beings joined to and adjacent to their effects, in reality there is a great distance between them. The distance from the cause to the creation of the effect is so great that the hand of the greatest causes cannot reach the creation of the most insignificant effects. Thus, it is within this long distance between cause and effect that the divine names each rise like stars. The place of their rising is this distance. To the superficial glance, mountains on the horizon appear to be joined to and contiguous with the skirts of the sky. Although from the mountains to the sky is a vast distance in which the stars rise and other things are situated, so too the distance between causes and effects is such that it may be seen only with the light of the Qur'an through the telescope of belief. For example, then let man consider his sustenance. For that we pour forth water in abundance, and we split the earth into fragments, and we produce therein corn and grapes and nutritious plants and olives and dates and enclosed gardens dense with lofty trees and fruits and fodder for use and convenience to you and your cattle. So for your use and for your whatever cattle you have. Quran verses 82, Quran section 82 verses 24 to 32. So by mentioning miracles of divine power in a purposeful sequence, right, water comes, the earth, dry earth splits, right, and from in like especially in springtime, all these different shoots come out and different plants, all different sorts of different plants are coming out, grapes, nutritious plants, olives, dates, enclosed gardens, fruits, trees, fruits, right? And then, of course, the cattle or whatever animals, domesticated animals one has, they start eating them. All right, so the whole miracles that is of divine power in a purposeful sequence. This verse ties causes to effects with the words, oh, for use and convenience to you. So here, for use and convenience to you points to an aim at its conclusion. So this aim proves that within the sequence of all the causes and effects is a hidden disposer. Within the sequence of all, who sees and follows the aim, to whom the causes are a veil. Indeed, with the phrase for use and convenience to you and your cattle, right? So this for use and convenience to you and your cattle, it disallows all the causes, the ability to create. It is in effect saying rain comes from the sky in order to produce food for you and your animals. Since water does not possess the ability to pity you and produce food, right? So the water does not even know you or your the animals that are there. So no ability to pity you and produce food. It means that the rain does not come, it is sent. Water does not put the ability to pity you, produce food. It means that the rain does not come, it is sent. So there's a distinction in the so the rain does not come, it is sent. I like that. And the earth produces plants, and your food comes from there, but lacking feelings and intelligence. So these qualities. So the thing must know, have feelings for to produce food or know you, or must have intelligence and knowledge about you to come into being. It is far beyond the ability of the earth to think of your sustenance and feel compassion for you. So it does not produce it itself. Furthermore, since it is remote from plants and trees, to consider your food and compassionately produce fruits and grains for you, the verse demonstrates that they are strings and ropes, which one all wise and compassionate extends from behind the veil, to which he attaches his bounties and holds out to animate creatures. Thus, from this explanation, numerous divine names rise, like the all compassionate, provider, bestower, and all generous. So, numerous divine names rise, basically, by mentioning all this. So, for use and convenience to you and your cattle is an interesting conclusion to this phrase, to this verses, with all these aims that are mentioned, and how the author kind of shares that all these things that are being given to us, like the food doesn't know who you are when you eat them, and how it gets distributed inside your body. Right? The water or rain doesn't even know you, so that it has pity on you. Wow. Yeah, so the lacking of feelings and intelligence is interesting, and how when we say, oh, this made this or this created this, it's impossible, right? So none of these causes have any feelings, have any intelligence, have any knowledge, have any power to create. So that's why they are at a far distance, right? So the distance being mentioned between them. But I don't know, superficial view looks just like at the mountain is touching the sky, for example, a superficial glance. So that's how we look at the things in the universe and think they are being the causes. So that's a superficial kind of view at looking at how the material science looks at things and explains it, that it's happening by itself, or the produce itself is producing itself. All right, any comment on this one? So this first example of the seventh mystery of eloquence, how it disallows apparent causes the ability to create, basically, and how far they are from this. Most wise and purposeful aims are followed. So whoever's arranging all this must be the most knowing and wise for all these, because causes are lifeless and without intelligence. All right, let's look at another example. Brother Ali, please go ahead.
I think this seventh mystery of eloquence is extremely important. Maybe I would claim that the most important of all the other important examples, especially the first paragraph, introductory paragraph, is eh, eh, amazing. Now, when we look at this sky example in the horizon, is not really clearly explained in the English translation. It needs to be carefully. Daire-i ufuk, for example, it is not really translated here. This horizon is an interesting example. Yeah, it is here. Yeah. Why didn't I see it? Horizon appears. Where is it? I'm following from the book when.
Yeah, horizon appears to be joined to with the.
Yeah. I made that.
with the sky, basically.
I know
From a
the,
distance, it looks that way as if it's touching the sky or something, right? Those mountains. But when
yeah,
you get to the mountain, you see, oh wow,
it was my
far away.
it was my mistake. It is in the afterwards it comes the discussion here, but in original it is on the beginning of the sentence and or earlier on. I couldn't find it. So the horizon is an interesting example. When we look at it from a very far distance or wherever you are, what you see at the horizon, the sky, it's very important. The sky and the earth is touching each other. That is right, isn't it? I see it like this. Everybody must see it in this.
Right, yes.
Yeah. But as you go closer, for example, let's say you are staying in a in an area and there are mountains around. What you see, sky and the top of the mountains are touching each other. But when you go walk and get to the top of the get to the top of the mountain, what do you see? Sky is up there, not touching there, impossible. Sky is up on the top of yourself as well. It has nothing to do, it has no reality, but it's just illusion. Illusion means the human capacity without being careful. What we see, sky and the earth is touching. It means, it is an excellent analogy. Sky represents divine side of the creation. Earth represents matter side of the creation. When it is not carefully watched, divine qualities may be found in the matter itself. This analogy is amazing. But when you get closer and carefully analyze it, you understand that matter has no divine quality. It is not difficult to see that. Matter is matter. They cannot move, they cannot choose, they have no qualities to do anything. They are there as they are given existence. So simple. So this explanation uh, teaches us that what we see, the matter, cannot be the source of existence of anything. So the source of existence is the one who created it or gave existence to the universe and positioned every matter within itself. This is an extremely important principle to me. And I mean, if we have time, uh, I will go a little bit into the Islamic heritage, Islamic whatever we receive from the previous scholarship. Now, the certain school, which is called Ash'ari school, said rightly, but not sufficiently, they emphasized on cause as we see it and effect as we see it, effect what it is created, cause what we think that because of water, plant is growing. They said they understood how many years ago? 1,200 years ago. They understood comfortably that water and the plant are independently created. Independently created. That was the backbone of their theology, Ash'ari theology, which is right. What Nursi does, accepts this, confirms this, cause and the result, it means the sky in the touching uh, example and the earth both are created by the creator of the whole universe. This is human illusion of, if we are not careful. So we can think that universe is what it is, the sky and in the horizon touching the some part of land, uh, earth. But Nursi, although it is not the subject of this text that we are reading, added one extra dimension to it. What is that? Effect, the cause, is created by God in such a way that it means that, say, water is created by the creator of the universe in such a way that water itself is the evidence that the universe is the act of creation of the whole. No, I confused. Uh, the every being is given existence with the quality demonstrating that it can be created by the creator of the whole universe because it is created within the context of the universe, integrated with each other. No one can separate an air molecule from all other elements of the universe. No one can separate it, and separately can study it. This was the Nursi's addition to Ash'ari understanding. The name is not important, Ash'ari something, but most of the people who are careful about the creation, they can easily understand if they are sincere in their research, they can easily understand that water is created independently, plant is created independently. But water is used in the way that always the creator follows in creating the plant. Always. Plant is created and in such a way that always if animals or animate beings, including human beings, eat them, they will get some nourishment from it. So the connection is to demonstrate that the connection is integrated with each other. In this way, it is easy to understand, but we have to be very careful that each of them independently given existence in such a way that each says, I am the creator of the whole universe. The other one also says, I am the creator of the act of the creator of the universe. Each one, cause and effect independently. So you can see that the water declares in its existence, I am, I can be only the creature. I can be created only by the one who created the whole universe. When you establish this and understand in the creation of water molecule that it is totally in connection with the rest of the universe, its existence, is realized in connection uh, of the rest of the universe, there is no way that plant is uh, given existence by its cause. No way to accept it. That is the Nursi's addition to it. We have to appreciate it, inshallah. So this subject needs to be really studied again and again so that our minds will be saturated with this reality that we should never be misled by these people, the scientists, interpreters of the materialist scientists, their interpretations. Never we should say rubbish. We should never be misled by them. The last sentence you underlined here, the distance between cause and effect is such that it may be seen only with the light of the Quran through the telescope of belief. What does it mean? It means not really copy pasting from the Quran. It means it may be seen only with the light of the Quran. What does it mean, light of the Quran? Quran says, be careful. Reminds its reader, be careful. Quran says, if you go on the top of the mountain, you will see that there is no connection between sky and the top of the mountain. It reminds us, encourages us, go there, investigate, go there, investigate, it means, light of the Quran. Otherwise, look, I am a believer in the Quran, so if I follow the Quran, I will understand the reality. This is not the way. Quran says, go and investigate it. All these examples are given for what? To invite us to investigate this creation. And you will understand that it can be realized only through investigating. So light of the Quran should be understood not as it is not generally understood. The method the Quran is presenting to us, and we should use the method, inshallah.
Inshallah, brother Ali. So just to clarify, you said about the Ashari, so they didn't go as far as this, basically, in terms of how each and everything is connected to the rest of the universe, that part that you were explaining. So for like
I mean,
the
whatever.
whole organization has to of the whole universe has to function as a whole for something to come into existence.
No, they didn't. They didn't emphasize on it. That is why Nursi is adding to it. They only said cause and effect must be created independently. That was fine, but they didn't emphasize on the reality that cause is whatever we call it as cause is created in such a way that it can exist only within the context of the universe. Therefore, only the one who created the universe can be the creator of the whatever we call it, cause or effect, whatever we call it.
I see, got it. Yeah. And so this, I think, yeah, so the distance between these things, the cause and effect, distance between cause and effects in such a way. So that's what the light of the Quran shows how this distance is. And of course, within the whole context of how the universe is, that's how the thing comes into existence. Everything has to be functioning. The whole atmosphere, the conditions need to be appropriate for something to come into existence. So the one who's arranging must have that knowledge and awareness, that intelligence to bring those things into existence. Inshallah, yeah, that's amazing actually.
Every every single being says, I can exist only by a one who is the creator of the universe. Because my existence, it makes sense only within the context of the universe. That is Nursi's edition.
Okay, Alhamdulillah.
That is why he keeps using وَإِن مِّن شَيْءٍ إِلَّا يُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِهِ. There is nothing in the world but announces his perfection. Everything says, my creator is the perfect one who created the universe because he put me in this position. By knowing or creating the whole universe, he located me here. So the uh, the importance of the subject is every being is enough to say that only the creator of the universe is or can be my creator. Said then, can I say that uh, plant is given existence with its previous cause, water or air? No, because plant says I can be only created by the creator of the whole universe. This dimension is added, which is called in the risale-i hadiyya. Absoluteness of the creator manifests itself in each and every being.
Yeah,
Wow.
mashallah, yeah. So each and every being declares that.
So Quran declares this.
Mhm.
Every kulli shay. When you read the Quran and when you find that kulli shay, all these verses refer this point. But when there is a need, you can see it. Now there is a need. Before they didn't need it. They said, universe is wonderful, there is a creator, that's it. And people were satisfied with it, which is correct. But now people are not satisfied because their mind is polluted by scientists, materialist scientists' interpretations. That is why we have to be more and more and more specific, inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay, so we can stop here for today, inshallah, since time is up. And we'll continue with the next example next time, inshallah, about how the Quran with another verse, inshallah. So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma alamtana innaka antal alimul hakim wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen bi hurmati suratul Fatiha. Inshallah, thank you everyone.